Alrighty, we are live, and today we're going to be talking about some different things that are holding back small YouTubers. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Good morning. Good morning. All right, so I just kind of want to jump right into it because there's a lot to cover, and then we're going to review some channels at the end of this. We had a lot of people submit channels, so not sure we'll make it to everybody, but I'll do my best. So to start off with, I kind of want to talk about why YouTube is it, why it's so solid, why I'm such a believer. And part of it is because there's evergreen content. So you post something on like short form content somewhere, and generally it's going to be dead within like a couple days to a week, as opposed to YouTube. It can make you money for years. That's the other thing, is that it's monetizable for a small channel. So this is something a lot of small creators don't know, is that like you can make money from day one. This is a channel that I started last year with 42 subscribers. The first video on that channel got 3,000 views and made almost $3,000. And I still make money a year and a half later from this video. So that's part of why I love YouTube, is because if you make a super targeted video, you can find people to buy your stuff, to work with you, to do pretty much anything. There's a lot of things you can do with YouTube. Now, what's holding a lot of small creators back is they're doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And a lot of times they do the same thing is because they don't have feedback and they don't know what the 20% is. So they don't have somebody to tell them like, hey, what you're doing right now, like your thumbnails suck, or your videos suck, or like what part of it is off, and they don't know the things that really matter. So that's what we'll be kind of covering today. I'm going to be reviewing some channels and looking at some of those things that I think a lot of small creators get wrong, and try to point those out so that as we get there, you can look at that in your own audience or your own channel and see, what you might be doing. So good morning to everybody who's in the chat as well. So main problem that a lot of people have is they have no clear path. They get conflicting advice where like a lot of things can work, but you can't do everything at once. So you kind of like got to pick what direction you want to go. You focus on the wrong things, and then you don't really have systems. So a lot of people stop doing YouTube after a couple videos because they don't have systems and they can't keep going. So that's what we got. Let's dive into the first channel. There's actually some really interesting ones coming up. But we feel like we have a very narrow niche, and I've had the same. I've had some videos with 500 to 600 views, but I'm getting stuck. But getting people to stick around for the entire video is a problem. So let me share this tab instead. Make sure that is working. Nervous I got picked for a channel review. We had a lot of people submit channels, so I'll hit as many as I can, but there was a lot, and I will be a little bit brutal. So if you guys do want me to do your channel, I'm going to do more of these. There's like a thing below you can submit your channel, and hopefully on an upcoming one, I'll try to hit more of you, but there's been a lot. So here's what we got right here. The problem with this one, the first problem that I see, is I don't super know what this channel is about. And this is what she said. She said that she feels like we need to narrow her niche. But is this a vlog channel? Is this a DIY channel? Is this a storytelling channel? Is your Instant Pot releasing steam when it's at pressure? Is a very different video from most of these. Sunrise and bird song, my new morning ritual. Like those are very, very, very different, and I don't believe they belong on the same channel. Generally, when you have a channel, you really want to think like, test that I have for it is like, hey, Gabe, that's the guy who talks about minimalism, or that's the guy who does this, or that's the guy who does that. And so when you're thinking about your channel, you want to think about like, hey, I'm the lady who does this. I'm the guy who does this, and just very clear about like kind of what you're about. Because if it's not clear, people aren't gonna, it's hard to gain those initial subscribers if they don't really know what they're getting, and it's harder for you. So that would be one thing, is yes, you do need to find your niche, and maybe you look at some of your top performing videos. Although that's kind of hard. because these are very different, but it does look like some DIY ones do well. Yeah, it really depends on what direction you want to go. And another thing that I would want to think about is how you're going to monetize, which we'll get to that in a second. Second thing would be, all right, so you're doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That's what we talked about that a lot of creators do. This is what you're doing. You see this thumbnail style where it's got these text that you can't really read the words. I can't read the words on most of that. I really can't. We could zoom in here. First day of summer, June 20th. Okay, so it's the same thing as the title. Well, first of all, the title and the thumbnail shouldn't really have the same text on it for the most part. Very occasionally it can, but it really shouldn't have anything, especially that long. Secondly, people can't read that text. It's way too small. So you should have like 1 to 3 words for the most part. Sometimes 4 or 5, but very as few words as possible. I would say all of these would be better with no words than how it is right now. So if you have like, clearly you're using this same type of thing to edit all your thumbnail pictures, just stop using that. It's clearly not working. Or at least test other ones. So make an A/B test, one without text, one with text, one different style text, and until you find something that clicks. Because a lot of times when you're a smaller creator, all you're doing is like, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this. And eventually one of those will click and then you go in that direction. But if you just say, I'm going to try this, like this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and it's not working, well, like you need to try all the other things around it where like some of the content can be the same, but making thumbnails different, making titles different, making whatever different, until you find what is actually going to click. So cool. Another thing is like, we'll just watch the intro to this because I think this is interesting.
Solution. How can we plant?
All right. I don't know if you guys can hear this.
Good morning. Soren and I had a lot of fun building this raised bed together. We were looking for a solution. How can we plant things in the ground when the place where we want to have our garden looks horrible?
All right, we'll stop there. This intro goes on for quite a while. And I would just say, like, what you want to do is be very clear with what you are offering, and that can really help the video do better. So if we have, first of all, like no talking for a second.
Good morning.
So 2 seconds or a second and a half probably before you say good morning. I don't love even saying good morning as much as just like cutting right into it. And then the other thing I just don't love about this is that like you are showing this like end result. But if the idea of this is like how to do it, like the idea of this video is you making the entire thing, it seems like, then you should probably title it into how to make raised beds, something along that approach that people would maybe be Googling or maybe be typing into YouTube, as opposed to building a movable raised bed to grow food. We have no place to put a permanent garden. It's just very long title. And it can definitely be optimized for search a lot more. The video could be optimized for what the end result. Like you always want to think about what the person who clicked on the video, what they're trying to get. If they're trying to learn how to get a raised bed, they don't want to watch you talk for 3 minutes first. If you're not teaching how to do a raised bed, then don't teach how to do a raised bed with the rest of this, if that's what is happening. So those would just be some initial feedback on this video. Also, it doesn't seem like there's, go back into this one actually. It doesn't seem like there's really a great way to monetize from what you're doing so far. So it's got like, you got Amazon links, but also I would have some type of lead magnet. Once you know what your niche is, that you can start collecting email addresses and kind of monetize that way, if that's something that you like, a direction that you want to go. So anyways, that was one. How's everybody doing in the chat? Thanks for sharing. Awesome. Morning, John. All right, we're going to go on to, if I can open this, number 2. Doing good. Awesome. Let me share here. So this is one of my students, and she said, I've been posting on YouTube almost 10 years with my previous channel, Beauty and Fashion, but over time, topics change and I decided to start a new one. So my new channel is a fresh start, February this year, and struggling to grow. Would like to hear your feedback. So we're going to go right into here. I'm going to start with, we'll go back to and look at the channel here. All right. Is it a black screen? There we go. Is that better? Cool. All right. So again, first thing here, we got 49 videos, which is awesome. That's consistency. That's sticking with it. We'll see how many are short form. So we do have some short form, but a decent amount of long form videos for the past 4 months. What's up, everybody? So just looking at this, I would say that the style does not seem to be working of the thumbnails. So at some point, you're generally going to have a few things that are going to be the problem when it comes to your video's not doing well. So you're trying things, and nothing's clicking. Well, you're going to have a couple problems that you're going to be facing. It's either a packaging issue, a idea issue, or it's going to be the content itself. And we're going to kind of analyze this and see what's going on. First of all, packaging wise, I just don't know if this is the best packaging. It's not super realistic. There's a lot of more realistic ones happening right now on YouTube. Some of these cutout things work, but it just looks it doesn't look I don't know if expensive is the right word. It's just not very realistic looking. I don't know, like almost over exaggerated, I would say. Another thing is, so let's click into this video here. Let's start. Money mistakes keeping you broke and how to fix them. I would probably throw a number in there, like 8 money mistakes keeping you broke and how to fix them. I also don't know if you need to put in how to fix them. Always, when you think of Mr. Beast, he just trapped somebody inside of a room till they lost weight. Like it's like 5 words or something like that. Like the title is like, I forget what the title was, but like everything's going to be as short as humanly possible. So anytime you can shorten your title and just make it clear what the person's clicking on, because they're going to see your title and thumbnail in like 0.3 seconds or something. They're just zooming by and they need to totally understand what the video is about instantly. And so if you do like 8 money mistakes keeping you broke, we assume that you're going to teach us how to fix them, or at least like that they're broke. So you don't need to have this second half of it. And it's just easier for me to like just glance at and read. So let's go right into this. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this again. I don't know how this works, but pretty new to live streaming.
If you're over 40 and still broke, chances are it's not your bad luck, it's your bad habits. Every week, without fail, I hear from women in their 40s and 50s saying, I've missed my chance. I should have started investing sooner. It's too late for me. But let me be crystal clear. It's not too late, not even close, because I started in my 40s and today I'm the first woman in the family to retire early, own real.
So first thing would be, all right, I can tell she has skills. Like she has some potential. I believe she's editing these herself. There is that like some sound effects that sounds like it's somebody hitting a table or something. Sound effects can be awesome. They can really add. But one thing I think about when I'm editing a video is, does this serve the video? Like sometimes we can, let's say I shoot a travel vlog and I've got a bunch of drone shots that I loved, and I like went out and I took my drone out and I did all this stuff, and it just doesn't flow with the video. Well, even though it's my favorite shots that I've ever shot in my entire life, if it doesn't serve the purpose of the video, then I don't have the right to put it in there, because ultimately all I'm thinking about is serving the viewer and giving them the best experience or helping them gain the info or whatever. So when you're editing these videos, you're asking, are you adding all these sound effects and transitions and stuff because you just learned how to do them and they're pretty cool? If you look back at some of my videos, I've done that. I've had way too many sound effects. I've had way too high of music. I've done all of those. And So just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. So sometimes less would be better. And I would say with those sound effects, there's definitely less would be better. Now, I really liked that she said, you know, I started in my 40s and I retired by 50s, I believe she said. Um, I would probably start to that and then also just make it a little bit of clear of a promise. I would say
I'm the
music.
first woman in the family to retire early, own real estate, and build true financial independence. And I'm going to walk you through the biggest money mistakes I've made.
I would probably just start with because when you're doing like a tutorial type of video, hello Istanbul in Colorado, what's up? When you're doing a educational video, you want, especially when you're a small channel, you need to establish your authority and why the heck would somebody listen to you. And so if you start off the video straight up, you're like, I left my I started my financial journey at 40 and I retired by the time I was 50, and these are some common things that I see a ton of people make that I stopped doing that made me financially free, or these are 8 things that I stopped doing that made me financially free. That is going to be like a much shorter and clearer hook, because again, like right in the beginning of the video, we need to put all of our effort into there and really keep it as short and clear as humanly possible. And then establish some authority, make a clear promise. So something that I also see a lot of smaller creators do is they try to teach instead of using themselves as I forgot what it's called, like the character in the story. So whenever I make videos now, if it's like 18 tips to save money or whatever, or 50 tips to grow on YouTube, whatever it is, I would always be like, I used to do this and now I do this. I'm never going to be like, people do this and they should stop. It's like, okay, but you want to show transformation and that you have personally done it yourself. And that's why people should trust you, because I used to do this, then I stopped doing this, and now life is better after this, as opposed to like, it's much easier to talk to other people and teach people, but the best way is to look at your own experiences and make a personal story for everything and the personal point for everything, as opposed to other people. So that would be another one, briefly there. Let me go back here.
Before I leveled up my money mindset, and more importantly, how you can avoid them. The truth is, I didn't come from money. My father worked a steady job his whole life. My mother is a brilliant artist.
So another thing there, because the music was so prominent at the beginning, that I'll stop on the editing part of this after this, but because the music there was so prominent and like dramatic at the beginning, when it cuts off suddenly, it feels like, but the sound effects keep going, it just feels very like harsh in editing wise. So I don't know. The other thing is, she's done one thumbnail here. If this video is not doing great, I always have 3 thumbnails minimum, and I wouldn't do like 3 of the exact same thing. Like maybe you test one thumbnail like this, one thumbnail with a realistic picture, and one thumbnail with different colors or something like that and different text. So I would always make at least 3 thumbnails per video, or one super well thought out thumbnail. The other thing would be, let's see, subscribe now, elevate your life. It looks like it's mostly finance related. So I like to have, like, I teach kind of the 3 pillars. Is kind of how I teach how to do this. In fact, if you guys are interested, I'm doing a masterclass on how to grow on YouTube and start making money on YouTube, and I actually talk about this for like a while during this class. There's a link down below in this if you want to check that out. It's totally free and it's on Friday. But I teach like the 3 pillars. So I would recommend that she kind of nails down her pillars and puts them into her banner right here. So maybe it's like finance, lifestyle, and freedom. Like I don't those aren't great pillars, but like I would want to know, just by looking at this, like what her channel promises a little bit more. Just for that, can luxury shopping actually be affordable? So that would be the main thing, is to keep experimenting with thumbnails, keep trying new styles, make multiples of them. Again, even this right here, like it would be, I feel like this would be much better to click on if it was like how I got rich in my 40s with these simple steps. Why most people stay broke at 100K plus. Is that 100K plus income? Is that 100K plus net worth? Like just making them a little bit more clear. Maybe just adding one word there, stuff like that. So we'll check out her. Can we share this tab? Check out her stand store as well. We'll see what she's selling. Okay. If you guys don't have, if you're thinking about making a digital product, I also do have like a free 21-day thing for your first digital product that you can check out. There's a link to that down below as well. All right. So she has first digital product. This is good. Having some free your first digital product. Get your first beginner-friendly guide to starting passive income journey. Again, I would make this more clear as well because it says free your first digital product. Maybe call it how to make your first digital product or something like that, because a lot of things, like when you do them, they seem clear to you, but they don't necessarily seem clear to other people. This is good that she has like a lead magnet to collect emails and stuff like that. But you ideally would be like how to make your first digital product in 12 days. Mine is how to make your first dollar online in 21 days. It's clear. In 21 days, you will make $1. It's very clear. And then it's like very thought out of how to get there. Okay. Practical guide to real estate investing seems good. One-on-one thing. I guess I don't know if there should be some type of one-on-one financial consultation, coaching session. What is the one-on-one? What would it be about? I don't know. And what is the difference between a strategy session and a consultation? Personalized to passive income. And then I would also probably put somewhere like if you're teaching how to make passive income, is this how you made $8,000 a month passive income while working 3 hours a week? Like, what is your promise? What is your story that you're saying, I did this thing and I will teach you how to do said thing? I would do that as well. Pop in and say hi. What's up, Tiffany? Hello, everybody. Okay, cool. Guess we will stop sharing. Okay. Next up, we have something that I think is quite interesting, and that is right here. He says, what will draw in my ideal customer persona and keep them and convert them into paying customers? And we'll go in here and share this tab instead. Hopefully this actually shares. Cool. Can everybody see that? I appreciate you guys coming on like a Monday afternoon. It's pretty fun. Cool. Yes. All right. So this guy right here has posted 141 videos and got 10 subscribers. So this would be another one of those cases where if it ain't working, we've got to change some stuff. It is good to get reps in. I would say that the good thing here is he's getting a lot of reps in, which is very good. But ultimately, got to keep adapting and trying new things until you find that thing that sticks. So we'll just look at his most recent video, I guess. Overall, he's doing men after marriage, so very targeted on who he's going for, I guess. If you're trying to convert people, his main question was, how do I convert people? You have no link to sell anything. So it's impossible to convert if you have no link. Is there a link somewhere? There is no link. So he needs a link to his stuff that he wants to sell. I would put it like right in here. Generally, you have like 1 to 3 links, maybe for a lead magnet for your website, and then for like your Instagram or something like that. So I would definitely do that as a smaller channel. You're not going to make money if there's no way for people to pay you. We're gonna watch his intro in a second, and I'll critique that. But first of all, let's check it in the description. So he has a link to his channel, but you'd have to copy and paste that because he doesn't have the HTTP, whatever that's called. So it's a hyperlink, so people cannot click on this. So it's literally almost impossible for him to get leads. despite the fact that he's not getting a ton of views. Even if he was getting a ton of views, it wouldn't be possible. Black screen, good idea for channel. Okay, we can see it now. It's like it showed up on mine. It's like it lags. That's really weird. Okay. Cool. All right. So he does have that target avatar, but let's look at his intro and we'll find out, is it the packaging? Is it the video? Is it the idea? What is it? Let's find out. Never ever have an intro. That would be step number 1. Don't have an intro unless you already have like 1 million subscribers, and in which case you can literally do whatever you want. Don't have an intro.
Why do we
4 seconds in before the first word is said, if I like with TikTok right now, that would be the entire, like, you probably lost 10 to 20% of the people before they ever had a chance to see what you had to say in the first 4 seconds, because it showed a vertical screen first of all, like a phone, and then you didn't talk. Intros are like, if there's one thing to focus on, title, thumbnail, idea, intro, that's where all of your effort goes. And yeah, anyways. All right, there we go.
run from something we cannot escape? Why do we fool ourselves that one vice or another will fix it? Are we even aware? One way or another, we'll all have to face it. We can choose now, or we can choose later. Some of us spend and waste our whole lives avoiding it. Hi.
All right. So that definitely felt like it was written out, maybe reading an article or something like that. Just because it was clipped like sentence by sentence. And when you're sitting still, like I do that when I'm doing my videos, I clip it. Like I stutter a lot and I'm not very good at talking, and I'm doing this whole thing. And when you're sitting still, nobody really notices that. When you're walking, it's very jarring. So if you're going to try to do this walking style content, I cannot do it personally. I'm not good enough at talking straight for like 10 minutes, but I would recommend that you try to do the entire thing in like one take, and you don't clip it up that much, because it's just more jarring, much more jarring on a talking video than it is on that. I would also try to like start in with something a little bit more personal. Like that was very like sentence by sentence by sentence. And it was kind of hard to follow when it's like that. So that would be another thing right there. And I just want to watch a little bit more here. The quality's fine.
I'm Benjamin from Men After Marriage. We help men rebuild themselves after divorce, one step at a time. We do this by getting outside, moving our bodies, and exercising our mind. In pain, suffering,
So he goes from this like reading this bit of a story, or saying this bit of, maybe that's how he talks. Maybe he can actually speak, unlike me. But he goes from that to like almost like a self plug. Maybe it's some type of, it is like good to, again, give yourself authority, but that felt more like a plug, and you hadn't really given any value yet. So it's not bad to introduce yourself, but I wouldn't do like a, I don't know, it kind of felt like reading, plug, reading type of deal. So I would generally try to keep that towards the end, or be like, I was able to like, I don't know, that one's a little hard with just the positioning of it, but yeah. Because we're like 43 seconds in yet, and there hasn't, so we're like a third of the way through the video, and there hasn't really been any value given yet. You told people a little bit of the problem, a little bit about yourself, but there hasn't really been, if I clicked on the video of "You're not weak, you're alone," I don't really know if I've gotten my payoff yet, and most likely I've left if I haven't got my payoff in 45 seconds, or at least a promise of it. It's possible that I'm gone.
and loss, there is no better time than now to embrace it. There is no better time to find yourself and live in step with the man you truly are.
Like, it might be better if that was the intro right there, but then we'd have a minute-long video. Okay. So we'll stop sharing that. Do you guys have any questions? We can, if anybody has questions, we can hit a few here. I'm also going to go back to his main channel, and we'll look at that to see what other problems he might have, if I can do that. All right. So, hello. One thing would be, again, it does look like he's doing kind of a similar thing over and over, which is a 2.5-minute video, 4-minute video, a 2-minute video, 1-minute video. A lot of times this style of content lends itself to a longer conversation feeling. So it feels like you're going for a walk with somebody, and that might be like a 12-minute video or a 16-minute video that's all in one take, which is hard to do, which it does take practice. But I haven't seen very short videos like this that are also clipped up and walking do well. So I'm not sure if that is going to do as well as just sitting somewhere or just walking without the shots. Generally, to make money on YouTube, you do have to have a little bit longer of videos. And I do see that he was just doing the screenshots and those didn't seem to be working. So he started adding some text in. I like the text better for sure. But I definitely still think that could see a little bit of improvement. Like this red, I can't really read. Pretty sure it says fighting. But bright colors like the white is going to stand out way better than red, even though red's like a bold color or whatever. So a few things like that, like the red gets stuck in there. So that's something you always have to think about. Another just like small thing that kind of bugs me is we can't see whatever text is behind there. So this bottom right hand side, you just never ever put stuff in there. So those would be the main things. There's no way for him to possibly make money with the thing he wants to make money on. The videos are probably too short. The editing style doesn't super work for that style of video. And then yeah, those would be the main points for this one. So kudos on making a bunch of videos. Also, shorts on a channel where you're trying to make long form work, I would definitely not do that. I would stick with just long form, but those are the main ones there. All right, cool. Should we be targeting niche or avatar? Lots of conflicting advice here. It depends on how you're trying to make money on your channel. Generally, yeah, it really depends. Niche is generally going to be somewhat avatar. So like for my sauna review channel, I target keywords for people who I know are going to be buying saunas. So it's not necessarily the person, it's more of the niche that I am targeting. Whereas when I think about my main channel, which is, or like I think about this channel right here, I am targeting creators who are just beginning, and I'm saying like, hey, I've been doing this for 7 years and I can teach these creators. So it's like myself in the past is who I'm targeting for the most part, or like friends or people I know personally who are growing. I'm like, oh, this would really help them. I'm going to make a video about it. So I'm thinking about that person, but inside of that is a niche. So it depends on what your channel is about. Ultimately, there's not like a clear answer. I apologize for that, but you do have to think about like how are people viewing it? Are you trying to show up in search versus recommended? Things like that. So hopefully that helped a little bit. You can ask more inside the cohort if we can dive deeper into that. Is doing SEO still worth it as AI is getting into the algorithm? Absolutely. Again, going back to my let me just show you this real quick to show you that SEO is 100% a thing. It depends again what you're doing. This video right here, because of straight up SEO, I know people were looking for sauna box full review. This one made $3,000 in with 42 subscribers and got 3,000 views because I knew 100% that keyword would do well if I just made an okay video. And I made an okay video in 2 hours, and that video is now at like 6K that it's earned. But anyways, it totally is a thing still. But ultimately, this is two different, because if you're trying to make money through affiliates or something, or you want to keep getting leads for a long time, then you want to target search and have evergreen content. If you're trying to go viral, then you don't really want search. You want browse. You want to get recommended to a bunch of people. So even that depends on how you're trying to make money and like what your strategy is for YouTube. And it's not the same for everybody. Like different things work for different channels. So I would definitely say that. And again, I have a masterclass this Friday where I teach for like an hour on how to do some of these things. So if you're interested, it's totally free. You can sign up below. Check that out. All right. How do you think about structuring your videos in a way that keeps people engaged? This is another thing that I break down. So it's I generally try to start with some type of like the hook is probably 80% of how our video is going to do is the first 20 to 30 seconds. Like if that sucks, it doesn't matter if the rest of it is the best video ever. If nobody A clicks on the video and B stays past the first like point where they go from like, oh, I'm going to click on the video to now I'm stuck with the video and I'm going to watch it. If you can't get people from here to here, then it doesn't matter how the rest of the video is. So I really put in a lot of effort of like, I generally like, I'll tell them their problem. I'll promise a solution. I will say that I've done it and it actually wasn't hard, and then I'll start to teach how I did it. Is generally like the kind of roadmap that I go, or starting a story immediately. Just never introducing myself. Never. I just realized that it said that it was black, so I'm just gonna pull this up real quick while I'm talking. But I never try to introduce myself. I never talk about anything besides like making those promises and then showing that I've done it myself is generally what I try to do. Okay. Sorry, I didn't see that it was black. I don't know how this live stream works. I can see it on my screen, but apparently on yours you can't. So that's how I structure. And then I also try to do rehooks throughout the whole thing. Like even during this live, partway through, I was teaching a little bit at the beginning, and then I was like, "Hey, we're going to do this coming up, and then we're going to have the Q&A after." And I'm always promising that something else is coming, just to let you know what's coming, so that if you want Q&A, you know to stay to the Q&A. But also just because it's just how my brain is wired now to structure things of like, not only are you teaching something, but you're also or sharing something, but you're also promising more things are coming, so that people have a reason, they know what to expect a little bit, and then they have a pleasing payoff. What's your advice for a cozy channel? It seems that you don't have to get to the point fast, as like it's finance. Yes, that is very true. So again, this all depends on your niche. What is the mindset of the person that is watching you? Is the mindset that is that sharing now? That worked. Okay, cool. Is the mindset that like I'm here to learn something, which is why in a finance video, I'm going to promise them that they're going to learn something. I'm going to tell them that I've done it myself and it was actually pretty easy. And then I'm going to show them how I did it and how it was actually pretty easy. Or is it like I'm just here because I'm stressed about work and I need to chill out. And whenever I watch Jake's videos, I always feel calm and happy afterwards. What is the mindset and the feeling of the people who are going to watch you? Because that changes everything from thumbnail to music to style to intros to everything. What is the mindset and the purpose of your videos? Are they to entertain, to relax, to educate, to inspire? And that will change everything about your videos. So you don't have to get to the point fast if it's a cozy video, because people are there because they just want something to play in the background while they have lunch and to feel cozy. Good morning. Okay. In each video description, I have a link to the playlist, and I have my general or landing page links at the top of my bio. Is it a benefit to each video description to have links to a website and a landing page too? You don't want to oversaturate links. Like I probably have too many links in the description of this. Like if you go and look at it right now, you'll probably see 6 links maybe, which is a little bit too much. I generally try to keep it to like 1 to 4 or 5 links. Like sometimes 6 is fine, but you want to keep it as clear as possible, because if you give people too many choices, they get decision fatigue and they won't click on them. So it's okay to have them, but ultimately you want to have your most important things that'll make you the most money or will be most important and most relevant to the video right at the top. And then if you have like for the people who just want to check out your website, just put that at the very bottom. If it's like the social media, follow me here, watch the next video, all that type of stuff, just put it at the bottom. So it really depends on what your thing is, but each video should probably have one thing where it's like directly tied to the video, and then the rest is just kind of like for those people who knew that they wanted this, but they forgot where it was or whatever. With shorts, I've posted them on my channel. It's I'm brand new. only have 5 long form videos. Is it okay to stop posting shorts from now, or would you say to reopen a new channel? I mean, so that's going to depend. If you have 0 subscribers, then I would probably just start a new channel. I would never post a short form on a long form channel if long form is my goal, unless it's like a clip or directly tied to one of the long forms. And even then, I have a friend who has JC, who left his 600,000 subscriber channel to start over from scratch because it was all short form subscribers and it wasn't making him money. So he just left, you know, long, huge channel because it wasn't worth it. So I would definitely say just have clarity, just stick with one thing. If you want to be a shorts person, that's fine. If you want to be a long form, that's fine. Don't try to do both until you're pretty established and you're pretty big. And then you kind of get the opportunity to do both. And you might see like, oh, well, the big creators do it. Well, like they can literally do it. They could upload a blank screen and get 50K views. Like that's literally, it's not the same thing as you. So I would just be careful with that and maybe start a new one, maybe not. If you stopped, it would probably be fine depending on how many shorts you did. But is it better to only focus on long form and do not do any shorts? Can you explain why? Yes, long form will show up in search for a very long time, much longer than short form. They can also, like, I have a friend who made $11,000 on a 2,000 view video because he had, coaching that he sold and different high ticket affiliate products. I can also do similar things to that, and almost anybody else could too if you have expensive things that you sell. Whereas short form, it's almost impossible to make money. It's really just more for awareness. So I am very against short form in general. If your goal is to make money on YouTube, if your goal is to be a big brand, then maybe short form is good or your funnel works that way. But I try to avoid it like the plague. Yeah. Cool. I thought Google created 2 algorithms, shorts and longs, so both can be on the same channel. You can do both, but I've literally had people like my friend who has 600,000 subscribers can't get a video to stick, and I've met dozens of people who shorts have ruined their channel. So Google says that, but I know creators who have had their channels ruined personally, multiple. Like I know them personally; they're my friends, and they've started new channels because it screwed up their algorithm so much. So Google says that it's not true. Okay. All right. Shorts views also seem great. Like you might get 10,000 shorts views. That'll equate to $0. You get 10,000 views on a video that has some way to make money. You can make $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 on the same amount of views. So like, it's not the same thing. You only need a few hundred views on a long form video. If your business is structured correctly and you're trying to make money, it wouldn't be possible to do that on short form. So, all right, we're going to take a few more. I apologize. I totally lost wherever I was. Okay. When you started your second channel, do you leverage your main channel to get your new channel to grow, or do you just create a new channel? So I personally did mention it once on my main channel, I believe, but I only mentioned it in a video. So like I was talking about YouTube on my main channel, and then it was killing my channel to have 2 separate topics, even though I'm interested in both. So I cut off the YouTube and I put it over here. And I did mention it once, and that did screw up the algorithm. If you look back, like I had a while where I wasn't getting any views. It was because I mentioned it. And then once the algorithm took over, my channel's grown a lot more. It went from 3,000 to 14,000. I wish I had never mentioned it. I now really try to avoid it. I will never cross pollinate. I'll never mention it from my main channel unless it's like in a very type or targeted way. Like, hey, if you are a YouTuber or a content creator, go check out my second channel. If you're not, please do not check it out because it'll screw everything up. So I'm very clear with that. And for like my sauna channel, which has a video with 120,000 views and has made like a decent amount of money in the past year, I never mention it anywhere besides like lives like this because I don't think people will be able to find it. So please don't go over there. It'll screw everything up. But I love the algorithm, so I just let that do its thing. Tips for being stuck in the recording aspect. I saw your video on YouTubers that literally just record while walking in the forest, and I want to do a review video, but I get stuck on the production quality. The cool thing about review videos is people just want the information. They don't care about the quality. I shoot reviews on again on my review channel, on my iPhone, on whatever. You just hit record and just start talking about it. I do some bullet points. If you're stuck hitting record, then just like play a song and then hit record and just stare at the camera until you start talking. But ultimately, I would also say that like worst case scenario is no one views it, in which case, like who really cares if it's good or bad? Like if you don't want to, I don't know. That's kind of my my mindset on that. Our niche is saturated, but it is a lifestyle. How do we stand out in our niche? Chase your adventure. Depending on what your niche is, it's kind of hard to say without. Maybe we can review on another channel next time, but really depends on what your niche is. But personal story is always a huge thing, especially with how much AI is out here. So leaning into that, but yeah, it's very, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Full-time RV. I don't really know that niche. I would have to research the niche and then you'd see kind of like what's working and how do I stop sharing? Kind of see what's working and then what is not working and try to find like a combination of a few things that are working with your own personal advantage. Like you want to find your niche of one where yes, you're inside a bigger niche and yes, you're inside YouTube because there's 2.5 billion people here every single month. Like there's plenty of room for everybody. But what is your story? Why are you different? And if you don't have something unique to share, something different, then maybe it just won't work out. Like you have to have something that you're offering that nobody else can have. And like for me, anybody can do finance stuff. Anybody can do book reviews. Anybody can do whatever, but nobody has had my insights about the book reviews. So I just lean into that where it's like, yes, it might be the same as a lot of other people. Yes, it might be saturated, but I have a different opinion than everybody else because I've had different life experiences. I think differently and all that type of stuff. So that's how I try to fight that. Hello from Alaska. I was just in Alaska. What's up? I was there for 10 hours and then I flew back. You're helping me with great changes in my life. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. I appreciate everybody for showing up here. Hopefully this was helpful. If you want to do this again, we're doing a webinar on Friday teaching for like an hour on how to do this and then Q&A at the end again, but more on the monetization side of everything and like strategy and whatnot. So welcome to join that. There's a link down below. Yeah, hope you have a good rest of your Monday and crush it this week. Post a video. Make sure you post. And yeah, I'll see you another time.